So now what do I do? Well, I guess there's only one thing. There's something I'd like to know. Are you real? Can you feel?
Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name is Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirit and my intuition, the tarot, to communicate energies to you guys, fantastic viewers. If you guys are new to this channel, welcome. I'm so glad you guys found me. For those of you guys who have been here before, I'm so grateful to do your reading again. And I do hope that these readings resonate for all of you guys. You guys are all very safe and welcome in this space with me today. Today's reading, we're looking at a person on your mind. Could be anyone at all. Doesn't have to be an intimate love relationship, although a lot of you guys do come here for that. So sometimes it does pull through in that fashion, but you can apply it to whomever you're trying to understand a little bit better. And we're going to be looking at this person versus themselves. So it's going to be a look at their higher self, their thoughts, their current state of mind, okay, and then their feelings when it comes to themselves / potentially their connection or their understanding of their connection with you or the world, however it pulls through. And then subconscious energies, sort of what's in their shadow or in their Pluto that maybe we're unaware of, or the driver in which a lot of the suffering is being created in their world unbeknownst to them, or whatever sort of still there needing to be resolved or looked at. So it's a lot, and I was going to do 3 piles, but somehow, I don't know, I grabbed a 4th one and I couldn't put one back. So I really only wanted to do 3, but here we are. This is why I don't want to spend too much time within each of these, but you know how it goes. I'll spend as much time as we need to get the messaging until it feels complete. So I don't know that I'm going to complete this today. You know, I woke up from a pretty intense nightmare and it's got me a little rocked. So I don't know how I'm feeling about spending this much time doing it, but I do know that I certainly was being called to do it. And hopefully this is something that you're needing to hear at this time, to provide you with a level of understanding and maybe to alleviate some suffering, you know, in regards to this connection between you and this person. Or you could certainly be tapped into your own energy. So it might provide you with some insights on your own energy. Okay, however it comes through, don't limit it to one sort of understanding. And we might pull through someone else that is in your energy field that Spirit's wanting to bring to your attention. Okay, if you don't want to hear about it then, or about that person, then you just go to another pile. Okay, but there's a reason Spirit sort of pulls through the way that Spirit does. Okay, I have no control over that. I just read cards and energy, and this is only 4 sort of channels of energy here. So it's not going to be resonating for everybody. Okay, and this is a general collective reading, so there's going to be messages in here for certain individuals and not all, but it should really resonate with the overall sections that we're looking through for that person. Okay, that's what you're kind of being guided to look at. So for the decks, we'll be using just three oracle packs. We'll have the Shadow Work Oracle, the Blind Spot Oracle, and the Anagram Oracles. Okay, and then for the tarot, these 4 options, we have the Wild Unknown, and that's option 1. Option number 2, we have the Tarot of Oneness. Option number 3, we have the In-Between Tarot. And option number 4, we have the Glow in the Dark Tarot. So if you guys are interested in any of these decks, I do have a playlist there where I do the tarot flip through when I purchase these, in order for you guys to sort of connect with them and energetically sort of charge them for future readings. And also for those of you guys who do tarot, I know you might like to purchase or invest in some of these decks. So you can go take a look at that. I'll try to link it right here so that you guys can go take a look. So beautiful angels, we have these 4 options. I'll put a timestamp in the description box in the pinned comment below. It will take you guys directly to your pick. Don't second guess yourself if you're called to multiple piles, or it could be just different aspects, same person, different people, you pulling through one pile, maybe the person you came here about in another. Okay, so just kind of keep an open mind. And yeah, and I'll see you guys at your pick. Hello, pile number 1. You guys picked the Wild Unknown Tarot. And we're looking at the person on your mind. And this person, whoever this person is to you, we're looking at them versus them. So really we'll be taking a look at their higher self, their current thoughts, okay, or predominant thoughts, I should say. And it could be thoughts about themselves, thoughts about this connection, thoughts, views in regards to, I don't know, whatever pulls through here. I'm not going to limit it, okay? And then their feelings. How are they feeling specifically, maybe about themselves or this connection or overall? And then we'll look at the subconscious. But I don't know what order we're going to be looking at it. So I'm going to lay the cards out, and then whatever I channel, I channel. Okay, so yeah, let's take a look. Spirits, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of beautiful pile number 1, the Wild Unknown group. And they're looking at the person they came here about versus that person in regards to their energy overall, regarding their subconscious, to their higher self. Can we get a look at this person, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 1 when it comes to their connection with this person, whatever pile 1 is needing to know at this time regarding the person they came here about. Clear and concise message, spirits, please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. Thank you so much, pile 1, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here doing your reading. Higher self, their state of mind and their thoughts. Their feelings. Oops, one fell. I'm going to grab that. It fell like this. Okay. Now, these are a bit long, so we're going to have to put the subconscious. You know what? I'm not feeling that. I want to do something like this. Higher self. Okay. Sorry, guys. I didn't really come up with this spread beforehand. Now, let's look at the subconscious here. Subconscious for pile number 1's person. Subconscious here. I think that's it. Okay. Subconscious. Pile number 1's person's subconscious. What's going on in the shadows here? Okay, so their higher self. Spirit for pile 1's person's higher self. Person they came here about. Their higher self. And their feelings. Okay. And, oopsie, let's put that there. One of these 4 pile 1's person. Okay. I guess this is what it's going to look like. Okay. What should we start with, Spirit? Let's take a look at their, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to begin here, eh? What should we do? What makes more sense? Let's look at their high self. Nah, sorry. Let's look at their shadowy side, because I don't want to end in the shadows. Oh my goodness. So, Death, Scorpio energy, and oh, and my gosh, 10 swords. Endings on a spiritual, soulful. This is a major arcana. This is in our 3D manifest world. This person's really clinging to how things are. This is their MO here, depression. Oh my goodness. This too shall pass. Every storm brings a rainbow. Sadness, hopelessness, and despair. Okay. I'm going to flip them. Feelings, we have 9 swords. The Queen of Wands. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, 2 swords. 3 cups in reverse. And work. A 106. Realism, effort, task, duty, labor, working on one's self. Okay. Their state of mind. We have the 2 pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. 7 of Swords in reverse. Like to see that. And we have self-love. 87. Appeasement, plenitude, trust, maturity, quietude, and relaxation. What's going on at the bottom of the deck? The Mother of Pentacles. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and Scorpio energy. Okay. And then for the high self, we have submission, basic fear, ego level 17, powerlessness, enslavement, fragility, weakness, subjugation, dependency. And we have the 5 pentacles in reverse. And we have the Daughter of Swords, which is the Page of Swords in reverse. And we have the 4 cups in reverse. Okay, this message is actually pretty clear. What's this? Yeah, your fear. Okay, them versus them. I'm just going to channel, okay? If it doesn't resonate, go to another pile. This could be your energy. This person is going through what I would call like I don't know if you want to call it a karmic lesson or looking at their Pluto from sort of a need to make major changes within their soul, within their what's sort of limiting this person from growth in their world. I feel like this person really has a unhealthy way of engaging with change. So they might like control. Okay. Because I do feel like this person might have been in situations at some point in time where they might have been at the mercy of a lot of change potentially, and feeling like it left them feeling not good because maybe they were wanting a different outcome, or maybe they had their own sort of mindset on how things should be for them, So this could be because we have parents making decisions for us, or maybe we get involved with people and have the best of intentions, or we get attached and then people make decisions to maybe go on without us, or whatever the case may be here. I feel like this person experienced great loss and possibly betrayal, on a deep soul level. And it doesn't have to be romantic. Like I said, betrayal. It could be betrayal by our parents. It's like the people that I trust sort of left me hanging in some capacity here. And then I feel like this person thinks that they can sort of control their happiness and their state of mind based on keeping things in a certain way, even if the certain way is sort of limiting them. And so this person, I feel, has been in their cycle, if you want to call it a cycle. I'm really being drawn to this, although Mother of Wands doesn't necessarily talk about cycles, but it's like protecting their territory and being very defensive and guarded about how things are in their world. And I think now, in this point in time, this person is really being pushed by the universe to make major changes and release certain things. And I feel like this person might have slept on that, where it's becoming to the point where it's becoming very painful for this person and creating, it's kind of inverting on itself. I don't know if that's the right word to use, that instead of like them feeling safe and in control, and the whole reason for doing that is so they can maintain a level of happiness. They're kind of experiencing the opposite. It's like now they're guarded and defending this sort of awkward state that they're in. This person isn't happy. And I feel like this person's prolonging ripping off the Band-Aid. And every minute this person sort of stays in this world, the more this person feels the pain of this. But this is like in the subconscious feels of it, you know? It's like really buried within this person that to accept transition, change, and release things that are no longer serving them is going to somehow turn their world upside down into something worse. You know, and that might not necessarily be true, but that's been their sort of experience. And so now this sits in the subconscious, sort of driving their actions. Why are they guarded? Why are they defensive? Why are they so territorial? Why are they protecting themselves or their position? So this person is feeling a lot of anxiety here, like sleepless nights about, you know, how do I maintain this potentially, or I could lose it all, or you know, and so they fence sit here. They fence sit here, and it shuts them out from experiencing joy, experiencing maybe new situations or people, or even coming forward to like share of themselves emotionally and be celebrated by others. And so when we feel like this, we're sort of isolated in a prison of our own making. And so we experience that in which we didn't want to, which is this depression feeling, this heaviness feeling, this feeling betrayed by the world or other people in some fashion, because it's like I'm stuck to this world I don't like. And so I feel like this person is understanding that there's, well, we didn't get into the mind just yet, but let's see. So I like that we see working on oneself, self-love, and the Seven of Swords in reverse. Because I do feel like there is some form of an acknowledgement that there's skin in the game, that there's something this person can do in order to initiate change in their world. And that as a result of them not making decisions or choices, because of this deeply rooted fear of change, has resulted to a lot of mental anguish here and a lot of stagnancy in their world. That's resulted in this uneasy feeling here. And I feel this person is living another sort of life. This Mother of Wands could be like mask energy, you know, and the shadow attribute, like pretending to be someone we're sort of not here, like pretending everything might be okay, or upkeeping some form of false self. And so they might have an image to upkeep for this person, you know. And I do feel like this person, it doesn't matter how successful this person is. So they could have a well-paying job, or like, you know, they could have it all in some capacity, all, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what level this person's at, but I feel they're more than capable of making change and being successful. But I feel like there's more energy exerting towards the upkeep of this. Wow, I'm seeing like crazy, sorry to cut myself off, but I'm seeing like crazy, I don't even know what this is. Weird. Okay, if this gets channeled through, I will, but it just came through very, very weird. So yeah, this person is like putting a lot of their energy into that in which is burning them out, that in which is just perpetuating more of that same energy that they're trying to avoid or trying to not have happen to them, you know? And so a lot of these people could definitely be also focused on work, you know, because it's like, I'm not going to allow myself to open up or enjoy or relax or have good times because I might slip the guard or the mask. And so there's like there's what I was seeing is like a hairline crack here, because I feel like if this person does sort of let their guard down all of a sudden with the wrong person or someone who's soft with them, a good friend, a family member they trust, I don't know, someone here, this might crack this person. And it's like, I want to maintain this energy, this mask that I have, because if I do allow anyone sort of in or let my guard down and enjoy myself, God forbid, the floodgates might come here, or there might be a huge opening here in which I'll have to address this thing. Because I do feel like this person knows they need to sort of address this thing in a deep level. There needs to be a release and a big change, like on all levels here. Like on all levels of who this person is and the type of life they're living and what they're clinging to. And so I feel like there is, in their mind, they think they're doing the best thing out of a love of self. They really do. Because remember, if we feel threatened, we'd love ourselves enough to do what we can to keep ourselves out of threats, right? Like if we didn't love ourselves, it'd be like, yeah, I'm just going to sabotage myself and send me to the wolves. I feel like this person does have a self-love, really does. Although they're acting in a way that's destructive, in a way, because it's not allowing for progress and growth and a healthy expansion. It's really them thinking that they're doing this out of protecting themselves from pain and from what they've experienced in the past and loss and not addressing this thing. But I feel like normally with this 8 swords, we talk about lying, cheating, stealing, or a card of strategy, and then the thief sort of returning the swords. I feel like the thief steals the swords and tiptoes away, because I feel like the thief is stealing the threat, like other people could threaten me. And so I want to steal their swords to keep the peace, so I'm not threatened by those people. Because I was sleeping with one eye open, trouble sleeping here, anxiety. Like I feel like this person feels like people could ruin their peace. And so they sleep with one eye open. And they, like when we steal anything from anyone or do things kind of where we're not including other people, we might feel, like lied to, or like this person's being strategic for their own good. But it's like, yeah, it's for their own good, but it's like to protect themselves from what they might feel exposed to, like someone else is going to really creep in here and create a havoc in my world. And so I'm on guard and I'm watching, but this is in reverse. And this is coming through with their thought. And so the Page of Pentacles here, right, by the 2 Pentacles, and we have the Mother of Pentacles. Well, that's a lot of pentacle. Yeah. And then work. I feel like this person, it's really about their practical world and their engagement and what they're seeing in front of them and relating it back to some sense of security of self, And there could be a big neglect here on the spiritual and on the authentic and really connecting to the self. And so they're really identifying with what's happening in my matrix world is really a reflection of who I am and how good I am and what I deserve and my security, and it's real. And so there's a lot of that. So this person is definitely in the matrix world, and I do feel like this person wants a level of security for themselves. There goes my email. Yeah, that's the big one. It's like security for themselves where they're not at the mercy or dependent on anyone else. And so if I don't rock the boat here and it's already a thing that's going, then let this thing sort of go, but I do feel, I don't know what's happened in this person's world, but there is like a little bit of a shift here in a mindset, because I do feel like this person is now maybe understanding or kind of transitioning, if you will, this sort of energy keeps them in a state of maybe feeling like lack in some way, or still having to make ends meet, like juggling and tiring out. And it's like only one path is going to be the honest path of true self-love here. So they're understanding that this is true. Okay, this is kind of hard to explain, but it's like if I stay like this, it makes me feel stuck in a way, and then all this uneasiness I'm feeling and upkeeping this thing is like draining and tiring. And so now, because of this sort of brewing up here for God knows how long, it's now sort of past the time here to let something go or acknowledge some sort of change. And now it's like they're still in that world. That's the two worlds with their mind. But there's an understanding here, or at least an open honesty in their mind, that this is sort of not going to lead them to something that would be more solid for them, if that makes any sense. And so I feel like this person's big driver as well is like they need to relax, like they really do, because I feel they're really wound up, and I feel like they're really trying to prove something to themselves. And the more that they're doing this, keeping this thing, because that really doesn't feel good and feels heavy, the more they're burning themselves out, and the more that crack I was seeing is going to open, and this person's going to have a major sort of need to deal with things in a different way than how they have been. And this person's fear is, like I said, like accepting that change happens, and that the uncomfortability, I don't know if that's a word, their uncomfort with change here is something that's going to have to be worked through, they can't avoid it. And so the high self here is really sort of giving off this energy to this person. And I do feel this type of energy would be very disconnected from their high self, which I do feel is. And the high self understands this person's limitation and their need to connect to emotions, that there is this dissatisfaction in this person's world when it comes to relationship and connection, because this person can't just relax, be themselves, and let themselves sort of go there, if you will, because this person, it doesn't fully sort of get the concept or understand the concept of what they're sacrificing or sacrificing of themselves in order to maintain this sort of heaviness. And I feel like their higher self is trying to tell them, like, this is a lack mindset energy here that's really just focused on what they're seeing in the pentacle realm, that isn't necessarily a reflection of who they are, and for them to gain a different understanding of this thing. And that this person sort of will have to come to this submission energy, because again, it's like when we're battling the universe and change, who wins? And we can only sort of upkeep for so much until, that tower really happens. And when towers happen, it's like we can't do anything about it. It just, the universe comes in and rips it, And I feel like this universe has been working with this person to get this person to ready on their own terms. And I feel like there is some acknowledgement a little bit here. And I do feel it's because their high self is like, it's time for you to deal with the energy here that you're trying to avoid, which makes this person feel weak, by the way. It's like, I have no power, I have no control over myself and my security and my safety and my world, the way it goes. So there's an illusion here of doership, because there is nothing really we're doing. We're just sort of either aware of the universe and making choice based on what the universe has in front of us and all the changes that come and go, rather than clinging and trying to maintain things the way they are, and then thinking we have control over it. And then we create suffering because it's like, no, I don't want to let go of this, and it needs to go like that. And, and feeling threatened by the change of the universe. And so they feel weak, or they'll feel like, something like this. But I feel like the high self here with this dependency is really what this whole thing is about, is like this person feels independent, and like their resources are like on a level that's giving them this false sense of security, because it's all about that security and that safety. Meanwhile, the high self is saying, no, what you're really doing is you're dependent, and you're narrowing your ability to actually feel free and okay and more secure. Because when we're really sort of fixated on this thing working out, whatever this thing is, their 20-year plan, career, project, I don't know, relationship, whatever the world is that they know, because they've been in this for some time, I feel has been stagnant. It's asking them to change because it's not working, or there's no growth anymore. Whether there was or wasn't at one point in time is irrelevant. It's time for this person to let it go and make change and welcome the change and work with the universe. And so the high self here is saying this person limiting themselves by how they think it should go makes them feel safe and secure. And so they were still feeling safe and secure for some time, even when things were sort of not good. And the more they turn that knob up more to hang on more, because there's more threat, and it becomes more real that this thing needs to change. And it keeps getting turned up. And now it's like nightmares, can't sleep. I'm really guarded. I'm protective. Now I'm even blocking people who might know my true self or might ask me a question here about how I'm feeling. And I might have to deal with reality. So I'll just avoid going out or avoid talking to anyone and just put my nose to the grindstone and keep, if I hold on to this world a little longer, or this thing, maybe it will work out in my favor. And it's like, no, there's a dependency on this narrow path of it working in this way, and their high self just keeps telling them this. And it's like, this isn't the only form of where you'll get security and prosperity, because this isn't going to provide you with that security. In fact, this is the lack mindset. This is the thing that's narrow. This is the thing that's actually doing what it was that we were trying to avoid or prevent here all along. So it's a lot of fear in facing this thing, Change is not what this person likes at this point. And sometimes it's scary when there's a lot of unknown when we release a thing that we're used to. It's like, where do I go from here, And this might be like a job. And like I said, maybe something that pays their bill or provides them with a home or a sense of security and stability. And if we don't think we have another outlet or could manage in any other way, then we cling to that thing like it's our only sense of security. And God forbid if it goes away, I'm going to starve, or I'm going to die, or I'm going to not know how to navigate. And this would mean lack of a connection with the divine, trusting in the divine, and that we'll be given what we need, and we can loosen our grip. And this way we open up the window of anything is possible, rather than this is the only thing that will make it possible, and now it's only that or nothing or forget it. Meanwhile, when we open it up and say, Spirit, so like I'm allowing for all possibility, and now the divine can work in magical ways and free this person from this thing that they have, but I do feel like it's out of their own, they're thinking it's out of their own rescuing of self, their own self-love is doing this, because I care about myself, because I want myself to have security, because I don't want to be in the unknown, because I don't want things to be all turned upside down again, and then I'll be depressed, and I won't like where it's at, and I'll sort of be in this rut. And it's like, but they're already experiencing a block of emotions, because this person is definitely not happy at all, and I do feel like this person might be, like I said, isolating themselves, or just really not allowing themselves to relax and experience love or celebration or good friends, good times, because that dial keeps just dialing up. And so this would explain why there's this sort of acknowledgement here of some form of seeing what they have been doing was maybe, not, I don't know, but because I think it's still blurry for this person, because right by this Two of Pentacles, we see this Page of Pentacles. And so it's like this turbulency or this back and forth or this need to decide. And it's like they know that they have a choice here to make. And they're seeing that as saying, this is the way. Like they are saying that, like the only way is to sort of get pointed in one direction here, not be in two worlds. And so this is sort of the onset of acknowledging that this is one of those pentacles. And if this pentacle is feeling like this, which they already experienced, it can't be this pentacle. It has to be the other. And so there's this acknowledgement. If it can't be that, then it must be that. But still, there's this lack mindset, because it's like it's either this or that, And it's like maybe they're fearing that. And the universe is kind of like, well, just know that it's not that, or know that it's not this, Like first deal with knowing it's not this and deal with that. And then, things will open up. But I feel like this person's like one track mind. It's like, if it's not this, then it's going to be that. And if it's that, I'm totally because I got to deal with all of the things I got to deal with here. And so they're putting themselves in a pickly doodah. So, yeah, this is your reading. Pile number 1, I don't know, could be you, maybe someone you're dealing with here. I have no idea. Sounds a little bit frustrating here, but it's common when we're disconnected from the divine and we think we're a character in the matrix. That's exactly what this is. I'm a character in the matrix and I'm at the mercy of what I'm seeing here as my only sort of form of truth. And I don't trust the divine to provide for me and allow myself to shift and change and go in the unknown. The unknown is scary to me. And I don't blame this person, because I do feel like, and subconsciously, this was formed from an experience they had, which left them feeling really not good, pulled from their friends or pulled from a parent, or I don't know, a change that was just dramatic when we were too young or too exposed or naive and we weren't seeing it. So maybe we got blindsided or I don't know, could be a past life, could be as a child, could be something they're conscious of, that an experience they're conscious of, but they're unconscious of the driver, how it impacted them, so much so that now they're acting out of this place of preservation of their world and protecting this thing, and maybe people are looking at this like, what are you even protecting here? But to them, it's like their empire, but it's like they're protecting the mask. And they're defensive about this, I feel, and I do feel like this person is being called to, well, of course, being called to another path. But I mean, I feel like this person is even, like, I see them with this Ace of Wands, like they're even fired for something new, like fired up, like something else is going to be the thing here. But it's like, but the fear is really more greater than going in the direction of the thing that I think this person's fired up about, that would put them in a happy place emotionally and passionately. But the fear's louder, because that dial, like I said, that dial is really kind of on max here, like, and Spirit saying, deal with the release, deal with the change, deal with the transformation, deal with letting go, deal with, and this could be, sorry to go back into it, but this could certainly be the shift of dropping of the false self and the acknowledgement of what we're not in our world comes with a whole bunch of ramifications of change, like I'm not this, career path, and then it's like, whoa, domino effect, or I'm no longer wanting to be in this town or this country or whatever, or this marriage or this thing. It's not even a want. It's like, it's no longer aligned with my highest good, and it's no longer sort of doing it. And so it's like the release of the false self is what's being asked about. And that will like make the big change that they're needing. But this person doesn't really know about false self and all that. All they're seeing it is, if I'm a doctor, then it's like, then how would I pay my bill? Or if I'm a husband, then how would I, like there's a lot of this like matrix eyes, but it goes beyond that. It's like, no, it's all about your authenticity. It's not about, I don't know if I explain that right, but it's like, it's much deeper. It's much more spiritual. It's much more connecting to the authentic self. It has nothing to do with their production in the pentacle realm. And I feel like that's where they're sort of at, it's very surface here. So this could be like the onset of a spiritual awakening, It's like one crack away here from a spiritual awakening. And this would definitely, beside this mask, would make a lot of sense, because when we're really hitting a point of suffering in the false self, and we suffer in this mind prison, we have no choice but to welcome the dark night of the soul and shed the false mask so we can make change in our world. Otherwise, we'll stay stagnant and we'll pretend it's us, and we'll miss out on deep feels and being able to relax and enjoy our birthright, because I feel there's a birthright for this person to experience themselves, connection, celebration, enjoyment, love, blessings, other things, right? Rather than I got to do this one track mind place forevermore. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm done. I love you very much. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, beautiful pile number 2. You guys picked the Tarot of Oneness. So I think I came up with a layout here for this spread, which we had to work through for pile 1. So what are we looking at? We're looking at the person on your mind. Okay. Them versus themselves. So we'll be looking at their high self, what they're thinking, their state of mind, okay, about themselves or about the connection or about life in general. I don't know what we're going to see. Then we're going to look at feelings. Okay, how are they feeling about everything? And then we're looking at subconscious energies. You know, what's really driving them in the shadows that, you know, is sort of making them do or think or be or feel what they are experiencing. Okay, so clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message. Spirit, thank you so much. So blessed to be here today doing this reading. Thank you so much, pile number 2. I appreciate you guys being here. Pile number 2 is person they came here about. What's going on energetically with this person? High self, thoughts, feels, and subconscious energy, spirit. Whatever pile number 2 is needing to know right here, right now. So we have high self, and we have their thoughts. And what are they feeling? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. Are they feeling subconscious energies? What is subconsciously driving this person? What's sitting in their subconscious, spirit? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. Pile number 2. Okie dokie. So let's pull one of these for the subconscious. Subconscious shadow energy. There's that one there. Is there another one? No. Okie dokie. Pile number 2 is person's energy, spirit. What's going on with this person? Overall energy here. Thank you so much, spirit. And let's pull one of these for further different areas. High self. What's going on with pile 2's person's high self? Their thoughts. What's going on with their thoughts, spirit? Pile 2's person's thoughts. Oh my goodness, look, we had a whole cascade. Give me a sec. Go pick that up. Okay, it fell face down. We had these 4. You know what? I'm feeling, let's just read these independent. I feel like there's an independent sort of thing going here instead of putting them here. Yeah. Okay, let's get this all out of our way, shall we? Okay. Bottom of the deck energy. We have the Emperor. Wow, Aries energy. Let's sort of flip it all. Yeah. Okay, so we have the Empress. Oh my goodness. Taurus, Libra energy, masculine, feminine energy here. A star in reverse, Aquarius energy, and the 9 of Swords sitting in their subconscious here. And we have dependency. Find strength in self-sufficient and empowerment. Reliance, neediness, and addiction. Is that what that says? Yeah. Okay. Let's look at the high self. We have paranoia, suspicion of conspiracy, mistrust, fear, trouble, psychosis, and persecution, delirium. Mental tendency, type 6, the loyalist thinking center between mistrust and trust. And we have the 8 swords. Wow, this message is coming through very clear already. The hermit in reverse, the Virgo energy, and then we have strength, Leo energy. Okay. Their mindset, we have 3 of Wands in reverse, and the Spirit of Pentacles. This is the Queen of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. And we have the 3 of Pentacles right beside it. Wow, 3 and 3. Okay, and then their feels. We have, excuse me, the 3 of Cups in reverse. And look, the 3 here. 3, 3, 3, 3. Yoikadoodle. So 33 is a master number. Reproduction, creativity, humor, Christ consciousness, joy, and harmony. I'll be surprised if we see the sun somewhere here. So 3 of Cups in reverse in the feels. And then we have the Tower in reverse. My goodness. And we have the Action of Wands. That's the Knight of Wands in reverse. And we have the 6 of Wands in reverse. 6 of Wands in reverse. Interesting. Okay. So let's see. What do we have here? in this cluster peacemaker. Integration growth level 90 or 9. Look at 9 and 3. So I'm getting Hermit and Empress, which we have both Empress and Hermit here. Okay, so Virgo, Taurus, Libra, it says wish for recognition, reconciliation, mediator, agreement, listening to yourself, awareness in your value. Type 9, the peacemaker, instinctive center between forgetting and asserting oneself. Wow, and look at this yellow, which is all about the solar plexus, which is kicking me back over here. And we have mental tendency 56, stress level hysteria, and paranoia. My goodness, excessive emotions, simulation, delusion, agitation, overexcitement, affective dependency. Okay. 56 or number 2. The helper, emotional center between giving and receiving, root chakra stuff. More yellow. Stubbornness, 63. Determination, perseverance, obsession. Willingness, dodginess, restlessness. Type 9, the peacemaker, instinctive center between forgetting and asserting one's self. And we have deprivation, 16. Psychic pain, shortage, lack, sadness, insufficiency, physical pain. Number 16 is the tower energy, which is right here. Okay. And also chariot, integration of shadow, Cancer energy. Type 7, the enthusiast thinking center between pleasure and pain. And we have the green ray, which is the heart chakra. And courage, 96. Facing your fears, audacity, daring, bravery, boldness, soul strength. Number 6 is lovers, Gemini energy. The type 6, loyalist thinking center between mistrust and trust. There's a lot of mistrust here, the paranoia. Okay, and so here we have short-term thinking, 30, and we have the gift, 14. Sagittarius energy, 3s again, Empress energy. Okay, this message is so clear. I don't even know if I need to break it down in all these different areas or what's going on, but I'm just going to channel exactly what this is, and then maybe if we got to go, I don't know, whatever we got to do. I'm going to channel it the way I do. Don't like it? Don't care. Okay, so beautiful angel. I feel this is your energy. Okay, I really do. But if it's not you, then it's the person you came here about. This person is really being called upon. They know a higher sort of understanding of what they're sort of being called to do in order for them to be empowered and be happy in their life. Of course. And of course, we always would choose that if we could. No one would choose to hit the button of suffering. This person doesn't feel appreciated, accepted, and all of that stuff. And it creates this reflection to themselves that they're not good enough or that they need to do more or this sort of a thing. And so there is a dependency on connection or relationship that another is going to be a person here that makes this person happy. And Spirit is showing here that this person is being called from their higher self to really take the time with themselves. And so they're trying to do everything but this. You know, maybe if I loved harder, maybe if I gave more of myself, maybe if I don't know, did all of this stuff, because that's really the short-term thinking. If this person just loves me just for the way I want for this amount of time or that amount of time, it's like short-term. Spirit saying, no, it doesn't matter. Even if this person, you know, like not this person, but the person that they're trying to work with here loves them for 20 years. It's like, this is still short-term thinking. The solution that's coming through from their high self is trying to free them from this understanding that they have, that someone else is really the reflection of their value. And so the truest experience that's pulling through for this person and why they're maybe experiencing discomfort in relationship or connection is because they're being pushed to see their innate value. You know, the truest gift here that's being gifted to them is for them to go inwards, meaning not be outwardly seeking and attaching and dependent on other, but understanding self, seeing value in self, and being comfortable with the discomfort. But once this person starts feeling a little bit emotionally discombobulated in some way, they're automatically reaching out to pull themselves out of this discomfort. And so there's a lot of paranoia, you know, like I can't trust people to be this for me or that for me. And it's like, I just want someone else to be this for me or that for me. And so it's being driven by these obsessive compulsion to be appreciated and seen and loved, because the more the universe sort of dials up this obsession the more this person has to get cornered to look at this thing, which has been long overdue. It's like, stop living in the world with this short-term thinking, that, you know, like going on to relationships that you feel are going to be providing you with a level of happiness is still superficial, and it's still temperamental, and it's still not the full capacity here of deep love. And so this is being reflected, this connection, whatever connection, probably between you and this person, although I do feel this is you, okay? This person is going through a connection here of opening the heart chakra, and the heart chakra doesn't lie, and the heart chakra comes with unconditional love of self. But we have to see the value of self. And so I feel like this person's martyring themselves, you know, they're depriving themselves of love. So I stick to situations where I settle, or I don't feel good, or I feel lack or sad or left out. And even if they're not putting up with that energy, it's like they're still in the mindset here that's not seeing the truth. And it's like one track mind that's like on the path of doing the same things with different people to find different outcome. And it's like, no, it's not about what outcome you can have with others. It's about opening the heart chakra and seeing the innate value from within. But this person gets very uncomfortable with the thought of being alone, or being, you know, not being in connection, or never finding no one, or like not having a relationship. And it's like, but I want a relationship, but I don't want to be by myself, but I don't like, and it's all of that. And it's like, but this is short-term thinking. It's like, you're not going to be in that forevermore. Trust that the divine is going to align you with the right sort of people. But first, this person has to work through their dependency, that other people are going to be their fulfillment and their happiness, because this is a dependent energy that at any point the rug could get pulled. And so spirit wants this person to have agency over their happiness and peace, that their emotional regulation isn't going to be rocked by anyone else, you know. And it's like, right now, if they were in a connection that's going good, it's like they'd be happier than a pig in shit here. But the minute anything sort of reflects back to them that they're not, you know, feeling a little unworthy here, it's like this person will go into some form of delusion, or some form of I can't trust, like clinging, attaching, forcing outcome, wanting the control of being accepted and wanted, and doing whatever to sabotage or sacrifice themselves, which isn't a good energy, because then we're left looking at ourselves saying, I turned on myself, you know? And then we feel even more low. And it's like, it's this vicious cycle of like, don't sell yourself short. And I feel like this person just wants to be valued and loved, but instead of doing it for themselves, they're like wanting other people to value them and love them. And it's like, no, listen to your inner self, because your inner self is trying to align you and see the truth within you. So the only reason why this person wouldn't see the truth within them is because they have beliefs here that are untrue, and it's integrated into who this person sort of is here. You know, and it's like there's this heavy sort of star in reverse, the Nine of Swords, and the upright, and the Empress. It's like there's this fear of trusting themselves to be there for themselves. And I would imagine it's here because if this person has a history of selling themselves short, or settling and turning on their own sort of self, I wouldn't trust myself either. You know what I'm saying? And so they keep perpetuating this by putting their hands, their fate, their relationship, or their expectation on another, and being disappointed and being disappointed and being disappointed. Meanwhile, it's like spirit is telling this person, you know, through their high self, that what they seek is within, and that it would require them to be courageous to look within. And with this bear and the stubbornness, I don't know if this person is just really adamant on having it done in a way that they think they know better than spirit how they want it to be. It has to be this route of how I'm going to be happy, and no other way is going to make me happy. But that's the Eight Swords. Spirit saying, no, actually, that's not true. And that's what your suffering is here. Your suffering is believing that that's the only way, you know? And I feel like maybe this person is even, like their obsession with a certain outcome, you know, it has to be this person, or it has to be something like this. And I feel like this person is relentless in attaining that outcome. I will succeed. I will succeed. So it could be somebody here who's very confident or used to getting their way, or really has a belief that's so strong. And so if we believe it so strong, we think we're just going to see it all of a sudden manifest, right? Because this has been this person's experience. You believe it strong enough, it manifests. But this lesson here is about undoing that belief that seems so real, that we were really the ones in charge of creating outcome, because we're not. And I feel like all of a sudden the universe showed this person that they're not a doer, that their happiness comes from within and not from other. And now there's this paranoia and there's this mistrust and there's all this, like, my emotional regulation is all off kilter here because I'm feeling all this sort of way. And I feel this person's ping-ponging, like if in connection it's going good, I'm high. And in one connection is something I can't trust or whatever, then all of a sudden I'm low. And it's like I'm dependent on the energetic emotional state of the connection. And I do feel like this person, has an understanding here of, because they might say, this is coming through, like, they do have a standard, even though this deprivation here is like, I don't settle. I don't just put up with scraps in some way here. Okay, this is what they would, some of this energy that I'm feeling would say, because they do have some high standard or something like this. And so they're like withholding. And I feel like this withholding is like, if there is a separation here, because I'm kind of getting this person and then I'm also getting the connection in some way. If there's a separation, it's like this person's like, I'm not going to reconcile. I'm not going to open up to this. I'm not going to experience this because this person isn't whatever, coming correctly, okay, or doing the thing that I think they need to do. Because this person really is attached to what it is that they want. And so if this person doesn't do what I want, I don't want to entertain them, but they're still attached to that outcome with how they think it's going to happen. And so then they're going to hold out and withhold and be upset and without waiting for someone to show it to them. And Spirit is saying it isn't about withholding. It isn't about people coming correctly. It isn't about not being able to work with other and saying, I got boundary. I'm going to let them out. I'm not going to give them another chance. It's not even about this. This is solely about engaging with the people who are in front of them so that they can say, gee, I was looking at this the wrong way, the way that's been limiting me, the way that's been suffering to me, the way that's actually been keeping me feeling like in a state of lack. Because it doesn't matter if this person blocks the other person who is breadcrumbing or not showing their value or appreciating them. It's not even about this. It's about this person acknowledging, I will continue to experience lack, sadness, shortage, and feel insufficient as long as other reflects it back to me. And so other could change on a dime. Other could be anyone in the world having any sort of experience with me and turning on a dime at any point, and me being at the mercy, dependent on that person. And that is not right, because this person's value has absolutely nothing to do with anyone else. But they really want to be loved. They really want to be seen. They really want to be appreciated. It's like, yes. And this is going to come from the heart. And once that heart is radiating, cracked right open, then there is no dependency, obsession, swinging on these emotions. It gets a nice full cup, and then they're able to experience another relationship of balance. But right now, the only clowns coming around this person are people who are giving them breadcrumbs or who aren't cooperating or not valuing them. And it's the divine bringing it into this person's world so that they could acknowledge this thing, sit with themselves, because this is why it's very uncomfortable. This is why the obsession. This is why the intense emotions, this why all of this. But this person's like doubling down. I'm going to get more stubborn in getting what I want, because the more we hurt here, the more unstable, the more the obsession, the more it's like, now I'm even more wanting to be appreciated and seen. And the more I'm leaning in that energy, but this person's leaning into it. And this person needs to sort of lean back into themselves, like really listen to themselves, which is really getting still, observing, watching what's going on, not so focused on me blocking this person or where this is headed or how this levels up. It's like, depend on your own ability before you can start to be whole to work with another. And so I feel like this person is really sitting on an energy here that's like, do they want to work with someone else? Yes. And they have an idea of other people have to cooperate in a certain way that will reflect back to me my value. And they're willing to work with people in that way. But if people are withholding, it's like, well, then I'm just going to move to someone else who, I move to someone else who, and it's like, no, because this is all about what they can seek from others rather than them sort of working on self and listening to self and being strong and pulling into them people here who want to build with them without them feeling they need other people to build the thing. They don't need anyone to build anything with, but I feel like the focus is on who's going to help me build this thing, who's going to help me build this bread, and it's like this sort of an energy, and then it's a redirect to, whatever, like even if it's not another person, it's like, I'm going to withhold until this other person sees the light. It's like, no, this person I'm reading needs to see their own light. And so they're upkeeping a tower here, and this tower is being upkept here because of this person's stubbornness and this fixation on outcome. Because when they accept the truth here of looking in the unknown, unknown is scary. We don't know what we're going to find. 2, that means surrender and let go of the grip that they have on this outcome. And it makes them feel very uncomfortable. They don't like that idea, so they're really hanging on to outcome. I want relationship, and I want someone to be happy with that's going to bring to me my happiness. That belief itself, that's the only way this person will ever be fulfilled when someone brings them a full cup, is not true. That's a prison of the mind. And they will see this clearly once they get still and sit with themselves and listen to their heart. They will see it. And so this is why this person's actually experiencing disappointing relationships and breadcrumbing and people who are not showing them appreciation, and I don't feel like this person would choose people who are like this. In fact, I feel this person is probably sitting block saying, I know my value. Meanwhile, they don't know their value at all. They don't know really, truly, innately their value. Because if they really knew their value deeply, they wouldn't be still chasing and clinging and trying to find and level up in connection and people to build with. They would just know that the people will come to them because they're in strong energy here and they're already building on their own. But they lack their own understanding that they can build it on their own, And so I don't know if a long time ago they just lost hope in their own ability to stand on their own and have a huge anxiety of being left alone. So this is abandonment here, And it's like my future could be at the mercy of me being abandoned, or like if the future doesn't go well. There's like a big emphasis on outcome. It's like they have their eyes set on the future and what it should look like for them, and then they have an idea of the path of how to get that, and it always includes another. Why is that? They got to ask themselves. Why can't they just say, I want to be loved, Spirit, show me the love, and let go of everything, and Spirit will crack their heart open to feel love from within. But it's like, no, I want to feel the love coming from another. That's how I need to feel it. So this is all about this person getting empowered and their masculine and their feminine coming into balance. And I feel like this person is in one sort of energy, which is stifling out the other. And it's like, no, you got to be your masculine and your feminine for some time and be in balance with self and find harmony in self and love self and open this heart chakra so that we can clear this lack mindset and this feeling like I'm being robbed of love, I'm being starved of appreciation, no matter how good I am or how much value I show or whatever. And so I feel like this person is in a delusion here of sorts, and it creates this mistrust of other people and that world of relationship and dating. And it's like, it's really a delusion, because the truth of the matter here is when this person drops all of that, what's going on in their mind and their story and their understanding, and they get very still, then it will be shown to them. It will be shown to them, but this takes courage to get still and sit through that discomfort and letting go of what we think is what we need to do and that we know better from the universe, That's short term. And this person, as long as they're in short term thinking, they're going to be suffering. They're going to be in obsession. They're going to be at the swinging of the pendulum of the emotional roller coaster here. And so it's going to take bravery here for this person to do this, to face this fear of theirs of being alone because of the abandonment. And so I feel like this person right now might be being called to go through an ego death, but I do feel like this person is upkeeping a tower, and I do feel like this person is feeling probably rejected, unwelcomed, unappreciated, not valued, and also discouraged in moving forward in this connection because it's proven to them to be insufficient in some way. And so they think, well, this is me standing in my values. It's insufficient. Excuse me, it's insufficient. Therefore, I don't engage. And that's partially right. But they're now being called to do the inner work now then, And sometimes we can't do the inner work without having a mirror of someone else sort of beside us to show this, like to keep showing it where it organically falls off. Not with resistance, because the more this person just blocks and resists and says, I'm worthy, I'm the gift, I'm the prize. And this person could say this too, I'm not saying, well, this person doesn't feel worthy, so they're never going to say that. No, in fact, this person thinks potentially, for a lot of you guys, that this person thinks they're the prize. And it's like, oh, God damn it, I'm the prize. And so someone else is going to show this to me. Like, who's going to help me build this bread? Who's going to show me that I'm the prize? What do you mean, who? You. You're going to show you're the prize. Because you are the prize within yourself. No one else is going to make you feel like the prize. And even if they do, it's an illusion. It's temporary. And you'll be at the mercy of this person coming and going. So this is what is being shown. Okay? So I think this is a big ego blow for this person, to really just not be seen as the prize, because they're not going to be seen as a prize from everyone, and just because they think it should be a thing. This person needs to do this for me, or someone needs to do that for me. No one needs to do anything. This person needs to get still, not date, sit there and see their innate value and fill their own cup. That's long-term, because that's self-sustaining, not short-term, not dating around, not blocking, not waiting on, not putting up with certain situations in which they feel like they need to give more or do more or be seen or strategic. This is like all strategy. Strategy is just keeping up the tower. Strategy is the ego masquerading as good intention, as independent, as confident, as doing the right thing. And when we're really humble, when we're really dropping the false self, there is no strategy. There is no strategy. And this person is all about concocting things here, and it keeps showing back to them a result of that, in which is outwardly sort of involved in that strategic thinking that keeps them trapped. It's time to stop strategizing, planning, blocking, thinking they know better than the universe, because I do feel like this connection is either stuck and not progressing just yet, and that this person has the ability to be open to give and receive love only when they stand on their own and see their own value. Then people will want to work and create with them, even if that's just a driver. At some point, someone will want to work with me. I don't have to be alone forever. Okay, thank you, spirits. There's a middle ground. But right now I'm being asked to be by myself until I feel strong enough to see this in myself, to pour in my own cup, to stop chasing desire, to stop chasing appreciation, to stop chasing something that's going to make me feel good. Because it's like, no, it's all temporary. It's not, even if it makes you feel good for a ham sandwich, it fades away. You eat it, it's gone. This is like the light that shines, the eternal light. Even when the body's gone, that light's still there. That's what you're connecting to, like the eternal self. Like, what a beautiful gift, the eternal self is being shown. And so we're scared, it takes a lot of courage. But the irony in this is like so much fear, having this courage, and I'm too scared. Meanwhile, it's like, if they only knew what was on the other side, they'd be running towards it. I assure you, there's a beautiful light on the other side here, But when we have abandonment wounds, we don't see it. We're anxious and we cling and we attach, and we're dependent on what we think is how we find it. So I do feel this person feels like they want peace and they want happiness and they want reunion but it's like, they got to scrub all that from their mind right now and just let spirit take the wheel, never mind peace or strategizing or how peace will be found or what the outcome looks like. All they got to do is just be open to spirit, to showing them their innate beauty and value here, and listening to themselves so that they're aware of what is of value already within themselves. That's it. That's all they're being asked to do. Everything else will sort of manifest in their world without strategy and control and all of this stuff. Okay. So this is the reading for pile number 2. I hope this helped you. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 3. You guys picked the In-Between Tarot. We're taking a look at the person on your mind, the person you came here about, and we're looking at them versus themselves. Okay, we'll look at their high self, their thoughts in regards to their mind states, their feelings, and then their subconscious. So this could be about themselves. And specifically, it could come through the connection or how they view, I don't know, the world in some aspect or some regard. Okay, don't know how it's going to come through, but we'll be open to analyzing and just observing this person and how it pulls through here. Okay, so clear and concise message for beautiful pile number 3. I don't know if I called you pile 2, pile 3. Spirits, for pile 3's person they came here about in regards to their high self, their thoughts, their feels, and their subconscious. Can we get a clear understanding and what it is that pile 3 is needing to know at this time for the greatest and highest good of pile number 3? Thank you so much, pile 3, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. So blessed to be here doing this reading. So we're looking at the high self, and your mind state, your thoughts, and their feelings. Clear and concise message for pile number 3's person on their mind, their feelings, and the subconscious drivers to all of this trouble. No, that's too many spirits, but I do feel this one. Is there another spirit for the subconscious pile number 3's person? There it is. Boop. Okie dokie. Let's pull these oracles. So subconscious energies for pile number 3's person on their mind. Subconscious. What's going on with the subconscious here, spirit? Thank you. I'll get these. Pile number 3's person. Overall energy here for pile number 3's person. This one here. And their high self. High self spirit for pile number 3's person. Their high self. And their thoughts. Pile 3's person's thoughts. Their feelings. And the subconscious. Okay. Let's move this out of our way. I will flip these all, okay? It's the best for me just to channel it as a thingy, okay, as sort of a story. I think it's a little different than I intended on channeling it, but it worked for the other pile. I think I'll do it the same way. Okay, 3 of Cups. Alrighty then. High self, we have the Page of Wands. I just want to stare at these for a bit because this is a new deck for me. It's the Page of Wands meets the Knight of Wands. Okay, just clarified by the Queen of Wands in reverse. Just the Queen and the King. So we have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. We have the Knight of Cups in reverse. And we have the 6 of Cups. Wow. Okay, and then we have feeling unloved. Number 11, basic fear, ego level. Feeling unessential, feeling rejected, separation, indifference, feeling isolated, feeling abandoned. Number 2, type 2, the helper, emotional center between giving and receiving. Root chakra stuff. Let's take a look at this card here. The bubble. Man, every time I use this deck, pile always has this. This is, well, this kind of could be like the card of the narcissist, you know, but it's like, again, don't call anyone a narcissist here because I believe we all have narcissistic tendencies if we're not aware of those tendencies. But it's like being very fixated on our own specific point of view and understanding, you know. So it's like reverse hangman, 27, or the number 9. Okay, let's look at the mind or the thoughts. We have the 8 of Cups in reverse. Okay. And we have 59 with autism. This comes through my readings quite a bit. Mental tendency. And we have the blue here, which is self-expression. Okay, turning inwards, schizophrenia, isolation, distance, introversion, and confinement. Type 5, the observer thinking center between interior and exterior. So, of course, we don't take words literally with this autism, although it could be someone is experiencing maybe like some form of, mental restriction here, or maybe it's not even a restriction, it's just a different sort of way of engaging in the world in some way, or it could be any one of these things. 10 of Cups in reverse. Okay, and then we have 6 Swords. No, we have 6 Swords somewhere else. Oh, that was 8 Swords. I thought, no, 8 of Cups. Well, where the hell was 6 Swords? Maybe not. That's 6 Cups, 6 Swords. Okay. 6 Swords meets the 7 of Swords. Interesting. 3 of Cups. Okay. And then in the feels, we have the 9 Swords. Wow. I think every pile so far had 9 Swords. 84, or the number 6 and 3, integration, growth level, loyalty, serving the collectivity, commitment, respect, devotion, faithfulness, and hope provider. Type 3, the achiever, emotional center between appearance and authenticity. And we have the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, that's the opposite of this sort of an energy here. Oh, that's interesting. And then we have the 6 of Wands in reverse. And we also have the 5 of Cups. Oh my goodness. And what's going on in the subconscious here? Depression. This too shall pass. Every storm brings a rainbow. Sadness, hopelessness, and despair. So we have isolation here, introversion and confinement up here in the thoughts. It's really reflecting down here. This came out for pile 1. Might be a connection. 8 of Pentacles. Okay. And the Tower. My goodness. And the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. Man, this is intense. Yeah. Perfection, aggressiveness, and excessiveness. So we have 101, experience, integration, accepting others, growth, balance, various visions, mistake acceptance, the perfectionist, instinctive center between control and letting go, fixation, 44, or the number 8, aggressiveness, combativity, revenge, anger, hostility, reprisals, wickedness, the type 8, challenger, instinctive center between strength and weakness, sin, ego level 52 or 7, excessiveness, greed for pleasure, debauchery, gluttony, insatiability, intemperance, and simulation, need. Okay, let's put that there. I hope you guys can see all of this. Crazy. Yeah, okay. Beautiful angels. This energy that I'm tapped into here could be you, could be your person. Take it as it resonates for you, okay? I do feel this has lack of self-confidence written all over it, and it's so ingrained into this person's actions, most likely in this connection and in their world, period. And so this impacts their relationships. I feel like this person has a challenge with all relationships. It stays very much to one level where it can't progress from that. And also maybe this person utilizes relationship in a different way, you know? I don't know yet how, but it's like their understanding or their engagement with relationship is sort of one sort of way that I don't know if it is their understanding of how it has to be, maybe. Or they might really cling to people, or have like the way that people make them feel is like a dependency in some way. I don't know. That's coming through as something here, you know, or like, how do I put this into words? It's really strong. It's like this person might live through other people, or might get validation from other people, or how other people make them feel is like, okay, it gives me my food that I need in order to sustain myself in some capacity, even though it's like not even enough. Like, it's just like, I don't know, this could be just even being acknowledged by, I don't know, like I've known people like this, you know, it's like, oh, this person said hi to me, and like, okay, like, I don't know, they they read into it so much, like, because it's like if they've been ignored or neglected, you know, that the smallest little sign of affection might be something here that this person's like, oh, this person's like obsessed with me. Anyway, that's for some of you guys, okay? But really what I'm seeing here is this person, what's really rooted here is they've experienced where they've maybe tried their best, and it was always told to them that it wasn't good enough, or they failed at something, that really they identified with at one point in time. It could have been a marriage, but it could have been when we were younger, or we just couldn't get it right, or we couldn't please a parent. That's exactly what this looks like. And it's like, I can't seem to work with other people or produce with other people, or no matter how good I try, be effective here in some capacity. And so this really impacted how this person engages in the world now, because this could manifest in many different ways. We could turn completely avoidant, and be like, I don't want to experience working with another person here that's going to make me feel crushed again. And so I keep things very superficial or light. And so I'm on the verge of like a hyper independence here. Or this could go in the opposite way, where it's like, I just feel like I'm not good enough. I don't even try, because what I do isn't going to change or matter, or eventually you're just not going to think that I'm enough. And so I feel like this person really views themselves as not enough and not good enough, and that they have to bring to the table some form of expectation that people expect of them, that's really created by their own trauma. If it's not like this, then it's not good enough, or I'm not good enough. And so therefore it really impedes their relationship. And I feel like this person might have felt, what's 44 here? That's a master number. Integration as a foundation, treating the earth as home and a temple, manifestation and leadership. I feel like this person, is missing a form of leadership and a go-afterness, It's like, because they see it as something, maybe it's like, it's not in me to be aggressive or to go after it. And it's like, they're seeing it in that aspect. Meanwhile, it's just a healthy love of self and a confidence of self, that we can be assertive and engage. But it's like, it puts them in an uncomfortable position to have to prove themselves or compete for something here. It's like, everything's like a competition. So why would I have to fight to prove myself in some capacity? It's like, they already know that, in their mind, it's like a story that they tell themselves, that it's like, either I fight to prove this thing that I already, it's not really saying that they don't think they would win, but it's like, it's this extreme of, unless it's worthy of this big, like, proving of myself, it's so much to task. It's like going to be like this big long struggle here, because I got to upkeep this vision. And it's like, is the juice worth the squeeze? Because eventually I'll be tired. Like, eventually it's like, I'll slip up. Eventually I'm not going to be perfect. And it's like, then I'll have to like upkeep that and prove more. And it's like, this heaviness I'll carry. And it's like, like, I'm just tired. I just want to do it by myself, or I just don't even want to have to prove myself. I don't even want to have to do this, but it's like at the expense of really allowing relationship to come in, to let people love them, or to allow themselves to be who they are and work and fail if they fail, and other people fail, and move past it and learn to integrate that we're not all perfect, but accepting this growth. But I feel like this person doesn't even want to experience that, because it's like, no. I already experienced this loss. My world fell apart. The hurts were so significant here. The abandonment or whatever it was here created this tower in my world. And so now we're working with others. This is this person's biggest thing, relationship, working with others. And this person might have a very difficult time with conflict resolution. It's like, this person doesn't know how to work through anything really, so much, because it would, in their mind, it's like requiring the side of them that, I don't know, they have this misconception about what that looks like. It's going to be confrontational, and I have to be all these things that I'm not. And it's like, I don't know. So this person might be somebody who just likes to sort of, I don't know, maybe they focus on work for some of you guys, but I feel like, I don't know, this person wants things to be sort of steady, wants things to be sort of, they're in control of their world and what they put out. And it's like, if someone else comes involved in my world, then it's like, I can't build my day in, day out. And it's like, it'll throw me for a wrench or a loop. Then it's like pulling at my energy, and I'll have to like, upkeep another world, and I'm not interested. It's too exhausting in some capacity, at the risk of, again, experiencing a deeper connection for themselves and to experience love here. And so I feel like this person is feeling right now like just sort of, I don't have it in me, why even try energy. And there's a lot of anxiety around this, because I feel like this person might be in a position here where it's like, do I put forward the effort and the energy, knowing again, this mindset that I'm never going to be good enough or create the thing, or eventually it'll fall apart because I can't be more than what it is that I am. And so therefore I won't even try it, or I'll run from it, or I'll cut it off at the knees. And there's a lot of anxiety about the fine line between me committing to it and being dedicated to it and me being devoted to it. Because if I'm faithful and devoted and committed to it, that would require me to be this. And I don't know that I'm able to be this, because they see this through the excessiveness energy, where it's like the extreme of how they think they're going to have to be in order to be successful. And it's like, just because they believe that that's the only way it would work, because they truly believe that if they were good enough to maintain a relationship or connection, to be sustaining, they would have never experienced what they did. And it's like, since I experienced what I did, clearly that means I'm not good in a relationship. Clearly that means something's missing. Clearly this means I'm incapable of being a collaborator or a partner or a good conflict resolution person, or I'm just incapable of working with another. It's my fault my parents got a divorce, or it's my fault that my marriage didn't work and I took it really hard here. And so I have this ingrained understanding in my subconscious that's really driving this pushing away because of a lack of self-confidence. But it's also this like sadness this person feels. And so I am getting a little bit of the connection here, because I do feel like this person might have been called to step up to the plate and be loyal to this connection, and had a lot of anxiety. And instead of doing this, they might have ran, or they might have just chose like not to invest here, and it's like, it didn't work. And they didn't win. And it's like, who wins? Nobody wins. In fact, if this person was really wanting to experience love, because who doesn't, in a deeper level, they would have to experience a 2 cups, not a 3 cups, which would mean this person would have to show their level of loyalty and commitment here. But I feel like this person couldn't go any deeper than a 3 cups, which again, the 3 cups is like friendship and just like sort of keeping it on a surface level and light. And we see the 3 people here, And it's like, I just want to kind of keep you in friend zone, or I don't want to expose myself, or because once I have to go a level deeper or level up, then this part of me will be sort of called to action. And I already know that I'm incapable of being called to action here, because I have low self-confidence. So this person is feeling like they want to sort of isolate themselves in some capacity here. It's like, even though they're emotionally dissatisfied, it's the world I know. Just leave me in my misery. Even if there's a potential to have a lot more here, I can understand it, see it somewhere in the future, but that's not for me, because I'm not good enough. I'm not capable enough, and it would require a part of me that I just, can't find within myself. So I feel bad for myself, or I distance myself from being exposed to that. It's too heavy. It's too burdensome for me to face the truth here, the truth that I suck, or the truth that I'm incapable, or the truth. And so it's like this fight or flight, because I do feel like this creates a sabotage, and this also creates this person's borderline like seeming selfish with the 7 swords, because it's like, if we are put in a position where we might let this slip or be exposed, it's like, I'm going to choose myself in some capacity. And so 7 swords it, even if that means slighting you or doing something here that seems shady or not on the up and up, and it's like, but how do I move forward and on from this thing? It's like, this person just doesn't want to experience discomfort and doesn't want to sit in that world that makes them feel like they'd have to face this part of them, because they already know that facing this part of them is going to see the deficiency within them. It's like, no, facing this thing is actually going to reveal the truth. And that all they've created by holding on to this belief is a depression, and also an inability to commit, and an inability to trust themselves, that to be themselves isn't enough. but they don't believe it and they don't see it. And so they're a sabotager runner here, okay? And so the high self here pulling through here, I feel like this person is, again, lacking the self-confidence here and is seeing this connection or potential out there in the world for them to explore connection. And they're suppressing their feelings and not going after it. And they don't go after this thing because of all the reasons I mentioned here. And so they shut down their emotions. They don't run on their emotions. They don't act on their emotions. And if they are to engage, it's going to come from this sort of Page of Wands energy. It's like most of their connections, which I feel is their MO, and it might be their MO in this connection, is like when we first meet someone, a Page of Wands is great. We're interested, we want to explore. We're kind of like excited and we have that, but then we can't be in a page energy because it always has to upgrade to the next level, And I don't even feel like this person is a Knight of Wands energy either. And so I feel like it always stops short at the Page of Wands. It's like the early stage of being excited and expressing an interest in some capacity, but not talking about feelings. Okay. I'm just talking about like a desire to explore more from a passionate sort of enthusiastic place. But I don't feel this person is the type of person that's, if you think this is your person, this isn't somebody who's like, hot and confident and like, sort of taking what they need type energy. I don't feel, I feel like this is somebody here who's like pulls away, runs away, avoids, and like doesn't express their emotions very good. But I do feel there's a soul connection here. Like that their high self is saying like there's a soul connection here. There's like a need to address the emotions, true emotions from an innocent place here. And that's what they're feeling, is to like dive into this, acknowledge this, chase up on this, be confident in this. And it's creating a whirlwind for them because it's like the more they feel this, the more in the 7 Cups type energy they are. And 7 Cups is like, we can't really know what to choose. We can't see which way is up. We don't know, And it's like previous to this connection, I do feel like this person was maybe okay in the 3 Cups sort of world, getting along that way. I get my fill in some capacity from flirting or from like burning and turning with the dating, if that's what they did, or just friendships, or like, I don't know. There's like something about being fulfilled with just like, this person might just fill that gap with like a lot of friends, or like a lot of like, I don't know, like Page of Wands type energy, like thrills and fun times, but it's like, it's very, very, very like fall short. And then it's like Spirit saying there's something much deeper here. And now it's like, whoa, now my world is all up in the air in some way because I'm seeing all of this potential and it's so overwhelming. But instead of leaning into it, I'm curling into a ball and going back into fetal position because I'm really getting pulled to look at my childhood or my past experience, that I really don't want to go there. Because when I go there, I'm going to have to acknowledge a truth about me that I'm incapable or unworthy or not good enough. And so this is all a root chakra type thing. And so their high self is like, our feelings are going to be a mere reflection here of really what everything else is going on. And so this person feels the effects of, actually for the first time, I feel here feeling unloved, because before it was like they could be in this energy and still feel in love but not really know it, and it's survival mode, and be okay with 3 Cups because we don't know what we don't know. So there's an ignorance here. But the minute it was like a reflection of like this, to me sometimes is like someone comes with a soul contract or like a soul recognition to say, hey, I've been put in your path to remind you of who you are, or to have you look at something here of yourself from a past life or from an inner child perspective, a greater truth, something in your shadows or something about self that needs to be acknowledged in a truthful way. And so I feel like you might have been put in this person's world, or flip it, whatever, in order for this person to really understand what it's like. What they're doing here is actually not love. It hasn't been a deep love. And so they've always been feeling unloved without really knowing it. And it's like, now there's this potential, and it's like, whoa. And so I feel like I don't know if you and this person, it says here, feeling separation and there's an indifference because it's like this person can't get on the same page as you. They're 7 cups, they're 9 swords about committing and loyalty and all this type of stuff. And it's like, but now they actually feel the rejection, because in the past it's like, well, I'm just going to be this page of wands. The page of wands is opposite of feeling rejected. They don't care. They're just like wandering in the forest, barefoot, having fun, looking at frogs under logs, and that's enough. But it's like, that's great. It's great to be in this energy, but they'd be robbing themselves of a deep emotional experience of unconditional love. And so now this person feels unloved. The universe, I don't know, hasn't really loved me now, And I don't know, maybe you got pulled away, or maybe this person's just looking back on their world saying, ooh, maybe I was never really loved. Maybe I was just sort of keeping things light or superficial. And it's like only being shown the potential here of something more for themselves. It's like, yeah, you were always stuck in your own mind. You were always thinking it had to be your understanding of who you are, which was untrue. Because again, this Queen of Wands to me is the masked self, the false self. So the false self was coming in here saying, I'm not good enough, or I'm always going to fail, or it's never going to work out anyway, or collaboration doesn't really exist, and it resulted in catastrophe for me, and I just wanted to play it safe. I want to stay Page of Wands forever. That's good enough for me. I choose this, thinking they're consciously choosing this Page of Wands energy. Meanwhile, that's the false self. That's the protective, shadowy self trying to protect itself from getting hurt. It's like, I'm just going to block out love. I'm going to block out love. I don't need it. I don't need it. It's like they're the only person that doesn't need love. No. And so they run, they distance themselves, and the Ace of Wands in reverse, don't go after what they're being called to go after here. So they suppress how they feel and don't chase their passions, and there's a lack of motivation. I feel here, like, it's like they water down their desires and their motivations to go after. It's like, I don't even want to get myself excited. I don't even want to see it as something that could be a future thing, because the minute I see it as that way, then it's like a loss. And so I'd rather just accept the fact that it's a loss already. Like, that's not a very good way of seeing things, and I feel like this person isn't feeling a lot of anxiety in regards to how they're handling things here. And I feel they're trapped between this energy of what I think has maybe already transpired in regards to giving up or not putting in the energy here that's required, and looking and facing some form of commitment here on a greater level, and already feeling defeated, because of all to do with their confidence and their ability to perform however they think they need to perform. So this is a reading. Pile number 3. I hope this helped you guys. I love you guys very much. I'll see you guys at the next one. Am I missing signs? I think I already told you guys signs, but just in case. Oh, what do we have? We have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and is that it? That's all I'm really seeing here. We were seeing a lot of pentacle energy, but I just feel like it's this person's thinking that they're what they can show and work on and produce here in way of energy and thing is a reflection of their value of who they are and how lovable they can be, And that's what I'm feeling with the pentacle, but it could be some earth energy. We also have Cancer, Leo, and Virgo, Gemini pulling through here, Pisces, and Taurus. Yeah. Okay. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Okay, want to check that I was recording. Pile number 4, Glow in the Dark Tarot. Ooh, is something being illuminated here? I don't know. Haven't used this deck in a while. Let's put the beautiful heart here. So what are we looking at? We're looking at the person on your mind, person you came here about. Could be anyone at all. Doesn't have to be love and romance, okay? But it could be anybody. Okay, you'll have to just put this into that person's energy field in order, or see it from that person's energy field in order for it to put into context, okay, for you and this person. So we're looking at the person on your mind versus themselves. Okay, we'll take a look at their high self, their thoughts from their current state of mind, their feelings, and then their subconscious energies. Okay, and we'll channel it sort of as a whole, and we'll see. sort of the drivers here regarding this person and how they're sort of engaged with themselves and why that is. So, Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 4. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 4. Pile 4, thank you so much for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here. Spirit, can we look at pile number 4's person's high self, their thoughts, their feelings, and their subconscious energies for the greatest and highest good of pile number 4. Thank you so much, Spirit. I'm so blessed to be here today. You guys, oh my goodness, how many cards are we getting here? It's like, yay, my last reading. Hopefully it's a quick one. Well, maybe it's quick, but look at all these cards. What's going on here? Subconscious energies. Oh my goodness, is that it? No, that's not it. Now that's it. Okie dokie. So let's look at the oracles. Subconscious energies for pile number 4's person. Subconscious energies. Subconscious energies, pile number 4's person. Spirit, thank you so much. Subconscious. And let's pull one of these. Pile 4's person, them versus them. What does pile 4 need to know here about this person in regards to their energy? How many do we got there? 3. Wow, okay. And let's pull this higher self, spirits, their thoughts. Okay, I'm doing it this way. This is how pile 2 came out too, by the way. Just putting it in a cluster here instead of broken by section. And I'm going to take it because I do feel this is relevant here. So the only thing we have showing here is rumination. Wow. Okay. Sorry, I know it's a little bit jammed here, so hopefully we can peel it all back. Let's start. Ace of Cups. Oh my goodness. Emotionally beginning. What do we have here? 4 of Swords. Reflection, understanding, rumination. 81. Disintegration, stress level. Rumination, provocative, anxiety, fear, doubt, inaction, loss of self-trust. 6 and 9. Type 9, the peacemaker, instinctive, center between forgetting and asserting oneself. And we have the yellow ray, which is the solar plexus. I'm not getting the them versus them just yet. This might be just a message here. If you guys are in a no contact situation, I feel this person's going through it. There is a reflection here. There's a missing of you here. Okay, this person's having some sort of anxiety about being apart. This person, it might be very withheld right now, in a state of reflection and heavily thinking about you, or heavily thinking about how to make things better with you or start over with you for some of you guys. Okay, it doesn't mean you got to take this person back in any way. It's just talking about a new beginning. Okay, so we have Virgo, Gemini here, and Cancer, and Pisces. So let's take a look. We'll peel this all over here. So 88 scholar, deep knowing, visionary realism, erudition. I would have a hard time saying that. Specialist in concentration. 7 and 5. Type 7 enthusiast, thinking center between pleasure and pain. Okay, so Cancer, Taurus energy. 88 is a master number. It's about a higher calling that is grounded in self-awareness and reverence for life. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting here. I'm seeing the green ray, which is their heart chakra. Here's the high priestess. Beautiful. Pisces energy. The Fool, Aquarius energy, 2 major arcana, and the 3 of Wands. This is a very interesting energy I'm feeling here, you guys. Let's see. I'll flip them all before we get into it all. So 97 with Temperance, Sagittarius energy, moderation, sobriety, realism. Then we see realism here. Yes, realism. Wow. Realism. I was feeling the realism coming through there too. Okay, restraint, simpleness, and rooted hope. Type 7 enthusiast, thinking center between pleasure and pain. More green ray. Beautiful. Love to see it. We have more 7s. 7, 7. Okay, 7, 7 is a master number. Trust the fall, an adventure that arises from deep wisdom. Trust of life and trust of self, which is very significant here. Scholar right beside this high priestess, right by temperance. This is insane. Pleasure abuse, 77. Look at these sevens I'm seeing. My goodness. So this was the trust, the fall, and adventure that arises from deep wisdom, trust of life, trust of self. So pleasure abuse, illusory thoughts, loss of frame, scattering addictions, loss of logic, irrational mind. Type 5, the observer, thinking center between interior and exterior, 7-5. And we have deprivation, 16. This is tower energy. Good. Psychic pain, shortage, lack, sadness, insufficiency, physical pain, another 7. Type 7, enthusiast, thinking center between pleasure and pain, more green ray. Wow. So a lot of you guys might be seeing 7-7. Okay. Lots of 7s here. Go buy a lottery ticket. So virtue, growth, the level 96. 6, courage. Yeah. Face your fears, audacity, daring, bravery, boldness, and soul strength. Wow. I'm getting chills. Type 6, the loyalist, thinking center between mistrust and trust. Yeah. Okay. We have duplicity, 39. Wowzers. Number 12 or number 3. And we have your motives, number 4. And this is Aries. Okay, this is Pisces. And we have number 40, more Aries, 4 and 4, suppression. 4s are all about stability, structure, planning, Emperor energy, death energy. This message is coming through very clear. Let's take a look at their mind. We have the Knight of Wands in reverse and the Page of Wands in reverse. Yes. And we have the 7 of Wands in reverse and Temperance coming out for a second time. Sagittarius energy. And the Ace of Pentacles in their mind. Okay, what's in their feels here? The Hierophant in reverse and the 6 of Wands. Justice, Libra energy. The Hangman in reverse. Pisces energy, which I was getting from this. And we have the Wheel of Fortune here. Wow, right beside Justice. That's huge. Right beside this Hierophant. Some lessons learned here. But that's coming through their feels. Interesting. Okay, let's look at their subconscious. So we have 10 Pentacles in reverse. The Sun in reverse, Leo energy. The Chariot, Cancer energy. And the Devil, Capricorn energy. And here we have isolation. In solitude, discover your true self and connect deeper. This is loneliness, solitude, and alienation, I think. Yeah. Okay, so that first message that I was getting, you can take what resonates for you, okay? I have a feeling this is the viewer's energy that I'm tapped into. If you're this energy, the person you're dealing with is ruminating about you and thinking about having this new beginning. But I don't feel this person is the person that's ruminating to have a new beginning. Not even close. I'm going to read this person, okay? I'm going to channel this person. This person has gone through a lesson of sorts, and I feel like they're coming through the other side of this thing. Because I feel like what's sort of going on here is a little bit about the connection and a little bit about this person's sort of evolution, if you will. This person is sort of completely closed a chapter, and I do feel like it's been a chapter within the connection that has allowed this person to close a chapter in their world. They have an understanding here which maybe was difficult for them to fully grasp or understand without going through a lesson of sorts or experiencing whatever they experienced either with you or in their world around this time that they had to go through this. It was like a tower moment. And it did require this person to really have a lot of courage to work throughout the tower. And what's this tower? They might have felt a lot of sadness, deprived, isolated, sadness. There's this like insufficient amount of love or energy coming towards this person. And so I do feel like this person might have felt like they had to go through understanding essentially what's of value to them, and not... Like, when we're, let's say, for example, walking through a desert. Okay, this analogy is coming through. Walking through a desert, and then, like, we're so thirsty. That's like you can have a little bit of this like water, which isn't going to do much, but it's like a little shot glass, or and then that's it. And then you got to go another, whatever, 10 days without water, or you can go another day and get to that full supply of water that's going to be refreshing to you. And I think this person might have been choosing to get the shot glass because it's like, I don't know, like we're in the desert, we're about to die, because that's what this energy is like we fear that we're going to die of thirst in some way. That's just an analogy or a metaphor, okay? Because I do feel like this person wasn't getting enough here. But I think this person realizes, like, I can go another day. And even then, it's like, what's the shot glass going to do for me except, make me suffer here? And so I feel like this person is coming to an awareness here, because I feel like it was an irrational decision to maintain or continue having the shot glass of water with them still being dehydrated, or not making it in a certain way. So I feel like this person was learning about, like it is a form of having to regulate self and find balance through this process of healing and deeper understanding and knowledge and acknowledging truths. Because I feel like there's greater truths here that this person might have been too fearful to look at here. It's like, I don't know, like when we turn down that little shot glass of water, it's like, man, I don't know if I did the right thing here. Like, I don't know if I could go another day, or like, I don't know. It takes great courage, to sort of refuse the thing that we feel we're really, really sort of needing in that moment. And so I feel like this person is really working through this understanding life from these two sort of aspects, and viewing, shadow from light, and not putting themselves sort of, I don't know. I feel like there's a part of this person's truest version of self that was being suppressed in order to appease people, situations, circumstances. And it's like, no, I can be also in my shadow, but be aware of it. And let me rephrase that. So this person thought that being in their shadow was like mean, in some capacity. But it's like this person wasn't even acting in shadow. This person was just standing up for themselves, or like speaking for themselves, or like acknowledging parts of themselves that they were suppressing, that they too need time for themselves, or to not reject parts of what they need, and acknowledge this, even if it means being mean, because this does seem like maybe this was a people pleaser, or somebody here who wanted to be liked by people. And so it's like, I'll just kind of play along, or I'll just do the thing. But I feel like this energy has changed, especially with this world. It's like this person has had to really trust in the divine and face their fears, and saying, I will not take that shot, and I will jump into the unknown, knowing that anything is better than this. And I'm going to go see what's on the other side of this experience, And I don't feel like this person was able or capable of doing this in the past. So I do feel like this is maybe turning our back on this connection, because what I'm seeing in their thoughts here very clearly is like, I'm no longer interested in pursuing or fighting for this thing that at once had me so fired up to either prove myself, or I really wanted to work on this thing, It's like I'm now even keeled. And if anything's going to rock my peace, I don't want it. And so I feel like this person is withdrawing their offer, or like pulling back the energy, the passion, the fire, and their desire to pursue something here. It's like I see the value of inner peace now. I see the value of me being that in which maybe I was trying to fight for or see. It's already here for me. And as long as I sit here in my own energy, which again, I'm really getting this masculine, feminine energy, this duplicity, but it's like in a tempered way. It's like my shadow is now integrated or alchemized in a healthy way. And I'm no longer seeing it as shadow or bad. I'm seeing this as me seeing the parts of me that I was shoving down, and alchemizing this into who I am, and accepting who I am and what I'm worthy of, and what I deserve. Like there's this deep, deep, deep wisdom that's now being integrated. It's not just hidden in the shadows, like, oh, you deserve more. But it's like, but they keep doing things, shooting them in the foot. It's like, no, I deserve more. And now I know it because I've learned this spiritual lesson of sorts. And so I feel like Spirit is really talking about here this sort of like I said, I don't know why this is coming up in the feels, but this is all giving me like karmic justice being served here, and maybe this person just feels free. Like, okay, I feel free now. I feel balanced. I feel healed. I feel like any area where I was sort of seeing things from one perspective is now changed for the better. And I don't need to either martyr myself or like stick in any situation that isn't in line with my balance. And so maybe they were being asked to conform to someone else's point of view that didn't make sense to this person. Again, the shot of water. And it's like, I'm choosing my own like self in a way here that can be sort of appreciated and not suppressed, seen, exposed, who I am and what I stand for, and be appreciated in that light, even if it goes against what's expected of me or what other people want me to be or what you want me to be or anything like this. It's like, no, here I am in all my glory, peacocking my energy. And I don't feel like this is because normally, like I say, I get ego. I feel like this person was suppressing, like being seen and standing for what they believe. And that's sort of an energy here. And I feel like this person has had to do a whole lot of, like I said, alchemization of the shadow and conscious awareness of a deeper knowing, getting honest with the truth, with the realism here, and seeing that all the thoughts that were happening, and this is illusory thoughts, okay, or like losing out, like FOMO. There was a lot of FOMO here happening, and it's like, now it's like, I don't fear that no more. If it's a FOMO, but I don't care because I know that whatever I experience here, and it could be because I experienced enough disappointment, that's like the unknown is better than this. The unknown is better than this. And so I feel like this person has surrendered. And I do feel like, let's look at the subconscious here. I feel like what Spirit's really showing is this integration was really requiring this person to engage in the world differently, because their subconscious was like dimming their light or like suppressing their lights, like what they truly wanted. Their inner child was being suppressed, their desires are being suppressed, instead of just speaking from that place of here I am in all my glory, I'm not going to maybe compromise in a way here that puts me out, because I do feel like this person has had to maybe sacrifice their own happiness for the family, or like, I got to be considerate of everyone else. Put me last. Put me last. And it's like, no, now I have this is like imposter syndrome too. It's like maybe feeling like, oh, if I succeed, or then I'd be arrogant, or I'd be looked at as cocky, or like someone who's like bossy in some way, and this is like success. It's like, no, success is success, and I will be in line with my authenticity. But I feel like this person has had to go through this experience to see this, but also I feel like up until now, this person has really been isolating themselves, because I do feel like in order for us to truly connect to another on like a cup level of depth and soul, we have to come out of this isolation of putting up like space between us and others, however the space appears. I kind of don't let anyone fully into this part of me, or I kind of just disconnect in some way, or have my true self sort of hidden in the shadow or in this compartment that nobody can see or understand. Nobody understands this me, the me here that just wants, maybe to peacekeep, or maybe just like, I don't know. There's a part that this person experienced, and I do feel it was as a child that was like sacrificing for the family, and if it's like, if we had to take care of a parent, or if we had to keep our mouths shut, it's like, keep your mouth shut. You're too rambunctious, or you're too wild, or your free side here is going to create nothing but havoc. It's not how we do it, or it's going to have a bad outcome. It's like, okay, I'll just suppress it. Okay, I'll just not show that to other people. And this could be somebody who has a very joyful, playful side within them that comes out in certain safe environments that I feel this person might have really kept guarded. And it's like, it's now this suppression of that version of them has been so heavy and has been really restricting this person from a movement and success towards, I feel here is like their purpose in life. This is really giving me their purpose in life. Like this person is going to do something here, either with the collective or in the public eye, or like be seen for something here, accomplishing something, because I do feel this person has a really big old light here, but it's like, ooh, I'm too scared of my talent or my skill, or I won't let it shine. My cat's scratching, which is confirming what I'm saying. So now I feel like this lesson has shown this person, it's like, you know what? You're not only are you going to just let your light shine, you're not going to attach stories to it or guilt to it, because I do feel like there was a heavy energy of believing they had to be like that in order to be cooperative, or in order to fit with the society, or in order to be in a successful relationship, or in a marriage, or in order for me to be working this thing, I have to be like this, because this is what I've been conditioned and programmed, or just really stuck to, But it's like this mindset has led to suffering, lack, an illusion of this is good enough for me, this life is good enough for me, these little bread and crumbs, or this like holding myself back, not being in my greatest light. And now this person's guns a-blazing. It's like they're coming out, but I feel like it's not in this egoic way. It's like this light is now shining and they have no idea sort of where they're going, but they're led by that light. It's like they're excited for this future that they don't really necessarily know, but they know that they're progressing, and they know that they're moving towards leveling up in the world. It's really felt and fed from their higher self. And I do feel like this person's made a channel from their 3D self to the high self, because they're very connected to their intuition and to this lesson, because it's being reflected here by the Hierophant and this scholar. So their high self is coming through in their feelings. They've connected to their high self. They're seeing the channel. They're understanding this. They found a form of masculine, feminine balance and healing and alchemization of the shadow. And I feel like they're now motivated by their own ability to see what matters to them, their motives, okay? It says your motives, but it's like your own motives. So their motives is what drives them, not what someone else wants them to do or be or say, or the past version of them when they were little, what their parents said they had to do, which was their driver. I saw my mom do this, and so I will do this too. So if mom put up with an abusive relationship, I put up with an abusive relationship, If this is how my dad treated my mom, now I deal with a situation like this. This is kind of what I'm seeing here, Or even I had a big family and I was put last, but I had to be the bigger person, or always be the giver, or always like do the thing that missed out on my authenticity, or like was told I can't go after that energy within me. I had to silence it or suppress it because I was too loud or too much. I was too much in that energy of love, or too loud, or too expressive, or too drawing attention. Don't draw attention. Shh. Suppress. And now this person's like, I can't suppress anymore, because me suppressing myself was creating this circumstance. And I know that closing this out and being able to just be in my truest light is better than that, regardless of where I'm headed. And that's true liberation, because we trust the divine to guide us wherever. And I don't feel this person knows where they're going at all, but they know that at any moment it's time for them to go, like go time on the ship when their ship comes in. And so I do feel like this person might have boundaries in regards to this connection, is kind of what I'm feeling, because I do feel there's either a separation here or something. And this person had to take time to reflect. And through this reflection of separation or whatever, no contact, I feel like this person has seen this, and I do feel like in the patterns here, it could have definitely been a lot of anxieties and fears, and still anxiety and fears in choosing this path. but that was what they were needing to overcome. The courage to overcome the fear, the courage to overcome the anxiety, the courage to overcome this inability to take action towards allowing that light to come out. You know, they lost trust in themselves to be able to do this. Like, I'm not strong enough to go against, you know, like what's not expected of me. I should toe the line. I should be nice. I should play it safe. I should be loved and accepted. And this is what's required of me to do that, to keep this peacemaker energy. And now it's like, screw it. You know, I don't want to just be here to upkeep some superficial pleasure when I can have big abundance and authenticity, if that makes sense. Oh, I was just going to say, yeah, like this is all about our choosing self, okay? Self-fulfillment. And I feel like they weren't emotionally happy in the situation. So it could have been a situation in which they were missing emotional filling of their cup. And that I feel like this person was having to face themselves. But I was going to say here, because I was seeing like sobriety here, and I was feeling like with this Ace of Cups, there might be, and this energy here of like my mom kind of put up with it. I was feeling like maybe there was alcoholism, okay, but it could just be a metaphor for an addiction, because we're seeing the devil and we're seeing the 9 cups, which to me is a drinking card, you know. And so I feel like they might have been, you know, like in a destructive relationship with somebody here who might have been giving to an addiction of sorts, and feeling, you know, like left out here, but also feeling very saddened by potentially doing the right thing, or the courage in doing the right thing, which is choosing self, seeing the light for what it is, the reality for what it is. Yeah, addictions here too. Yeah. So this is sad, you know, because maybe this person didn't want to have to go, but they were suppressing the truth. And this duplicity is like seeing the reality of the other side, the ugly side, you know. It's like, I don't want to see the addiction. I don't want to see the bad side. I just want to see what's good about this, you know, the love of this. And it's like, yeah, there could be love, but there could also be destruction, and they could both be true. And when we allow the destruction to sort of take away from us, you know, it takes its toll. It takes its toll. And I feel like with this pain this person was sort of feeling here, and all of this doubt whether it would get better, it's like they had to face their fear and the truth. Because facing the truth sometimes, you know, is the last thing we want to do. And it takes a lot of courage, but it always sets us free. And so I feel like there's a freedom here, you know, a freedom in accepting a truth, and a closing of a karmic cycle that was very toxic or unhealthy. So this is what I see. Pile number 4. I hope this helped you. I do feel this could certainly be your energy, but I don't know. I could definitely resonate with this pile, you know? So my heart goes out to you, but I do feel like the sun is coming, and we don't know what's coming here, but you know, it's always good when we surrender to what we know our highest calling is. And I feel like there's a high calling here, and this is beautiful energy of being seen and appreciated, and our child energy comes out, and our youthfulness, like we're free, and we choose freedom over anything. Because I feel like in this, we were watered down and told to suppress, and being boxed into a situation that felt not good. We felt tied to this person or the situation or the circumstance, you know, an obligation of sorts. And it's like, you're not obligated to anyone, you know, and you could still love them, you know, and this is this duplicity. It's like, I could still love and still choose myself. And that both can be okay. That's the temperance, you know, not martyring myself or sacrificing myself in any way here. So this is what I got. Beautiful angels. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye.